Okay, as you all know, the Crucible took place during the Salem witch trials in the late 17th century in Massachusetts. So in order to give you guys all a stronger background on the plot of the Crucible, I put together a little slideshow about the history. The Salem witch trials were a series of trials that started in 1692 in Puritan, Massachusetts. But before you can understand the witch trials, you need to have an understanding of the Puritan religion. The religion preached that its followers must live in fear of God. They were expected to read the Bible and attend Sabbath every Sunday. If they did not follow these rules, they were accused of worshiping the devil. The Puritans forbade many activities that would be considered fun today, such as smiling, laughing, celebrating, and especially dancing. They were a very rigid people, and their society was heavily patriarchal, which means that it revolved around the men, and the fathers usually had the last say. The Puritans believed in demon forces, and they punished anyone suspected of succumbing to the forces by worshiping the devil. In 1692, about 200 people were accused of worshiping the devil and practicing witchcraft. Most of these convicted witches were women, however, there were men also. While there had always been a fear of witches in the Puritan religion, the witch scare craze did not start until 1692 in Salem. Historical accounts indicate that they began when three young girls, Elizabeth Parris, Ann Putnam, and Abigail Williams, started to exhibit seizure-like fits. They blamed three older women for their fits, saying that women were witches working with the devil. These three women, Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba, were sentenced into prison for their accusations. Tituba, however, was the only one to plead guilty against her charges, admitting that she was, in fact, possessed by demon forces. After that episode, many other women were brought into questioning for witchcraft, and an all-out witch scare swept Massachusetts. In May that same year, Governor William Phips ordered that more hearings take place in other areas. The first hearing brought Bridget Bishop into questioning. She denied the accusations, but the court ordered her to be hanged because they believed she was guilty. One minister stepped up to say that it was unfair that unproven evidence was used against those who were persecuted. When Governor Phipps's own wife was being persecuted, he listened to the minister's plea. He stopped the trials and eventually pardoned all of those who were accused of witchcraft in 1693. By the end of the trials, 200 people were accused of witchery. 19 were hanged, and one man was pressed to death, meaning a giant stone was put on top of him until he was crushed to death. Finally, in 1702, the courts deemed the trials as unlawful. In 1711, those who were accused were finally given their good reputations back. In 1957, nearly 300 years later, the state of Massachusetts formally apologized for what they had done in the trials.